gonna try this again. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but it's being weird and it's not notifying people or doing anything. Um, so I don't know why it's being weird, but um, I hope you guys are having a wonderful week. I know it's a hard time for everyone out here, and to all those who are watching this live back, welcome, and I hope you catch me live at some other point. But yeah, I had just went live earlier, just a minute ago, but it wasn't notifying people. It wasn't doing anything. It was being really, really weird. I don't know. Sometimes YouTube is weird with notifying people, so I restarted this live. But yeah, so I'm gonna let people join in because I know people are home because they have to be. Let me see, people are popping up. Hi Sharon. Hi, loving my babies forever. Hi Katie. Kaden, I think is short for Kaden gang. Hi Rose. How are you guys? So yeah, I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, but right now I am working on a Realborn Ashley, and then I'm also working on a Ruby by Cassie Brace. Yeah, so it wasn't notifying people for a quick second there. I think what's happening is so many people are watching YouTube. It's just overwhelming the system. Um, it notified me earlier, but said the video didn't exist. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with it. Um, Hi, Deborah Ann. Yeah, so yeah, people are joining in. So today, the main thing, I'm sorry if you can hear the rain in the background. I'm in the sunroom. As some of you might know, this is where my new little office workspace is. I'm in the sunroom, so you can hear the rain because it's really rainy today. But it might be a nice little background noise. Let me know if it's too loud, you guys, and you can't hear me over the rain. But it's like lightly raining right now, so it shouldn't be too loud. Um, yeah, let me know if you can't hear me at all. I'll try to speak up. But yeah, so you must show my niece Emerson sometime during the live. I would have to go get her. She's upstairs. I'm downstairs. The sunroom is like off the. Well, it used to be the porch, and then we just added this addition on. This is my Nana's house. I love this. I love sitting out here, and it's just so nice, especially with painting because I can just look out the window, and I just kind of like I don't know. I just go to a different world. It's very like meditative. I don't know. I love it out here. And like I was saying earlier, like the other day, all the windows in here open. So when I'm actually baking, I have a lot of fresh air that comes in and takes away the fumes and stuff. So it's a super nice workspace. I love it in here. I have one of the windows open just for some of the fumes. You know, I was baking a second ago, so I have one window open, but I closed the rest of them because I knew I was about to go live. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm gonna just start jumping into what my dilemma is because it is relevant to actually who I'm painting right now. So she is a realborn. Like I said, she's realborn Ashley asleep. I'll show her head in a second. It's drying. I already painted her head with this layer. She's gonna be. I'm gonna be painting her very differently. I don't know if you guys probably know that I've been working towards getting really getting that newborn bright color, like just born color. So my last doll that I painted that was for sale was the real born Jenny that I did. And she definitely had more of a pink newborn tone, but I want to really get that purpley red newborn tone. So I think realborn Ashley is the perfect one to do that for because she is so small. She's 17 inches. So I think for her, it's going to make a lot of sense to do that really like newborn skin tone. Um, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I'm talking about like that kind of skin tone that Holly Paz does a lot. That's kind of what she is known for. Precious Paz, she's one of my favorite artists. So I'm not trying to like copy her, but I just want to see if I can do something similar. So that's what I'm planning to do for her. So she's only gonna get like a couple of skin tone layers, and then I'm going to start with the reds and the purples on her. So right now this is her only her second skin tone. So I still want her to be like kind of like ethnic, but if that makes sense, like an ethnic newborn. So she'll still have like a little bit of a warmer undertone, but most of her coloring will be from the reds and purples of that newborn, just freshly born coloring. So that's my plan for her, but she is relevant because, like I said, she is a real born, and that is the dilemma that I am having. And I've been having this dilemma, but I didn't want to talk about it on my channel because it is a touchy subject, and I did get kind of attacked for it when I posted it uh, on the forum because people love the realborns, as do I. However, that's the whole point. Like, I wouldn't be a dilemma if I didn't love the realborns. So that's my issue. Is I love the realborns, but I'm starting to have some like issues that I still am not feeling very quite happy about. So when I posted this was back in I think October. I'm gonna put her leg back on the stand. Um, Sorry, I'm putting her, making sure she's sitting right on the drying rack. But yeah, so I posted this topic I think back in October. I think I posted this back in October. I got attacked for it because, like I said, people are feel very strongly about realborns, feel very strongly about portrait sculpts in general. So this isn't just about realborns. For me, in general, it is about portrait sculpts, but specifically realborns because they are 3D scans of real babies, so it's more direct to me than even just like a sculptor taking inspiration from a real baby. That's a little bit different to me than the realborns, where, like I said, they're 3D scans of an existing baby. They are sculpted, like some of the parts of them are sculpted, but for the most part, they are the 3D scans of the babies. So sorry, that's the air conditioning. Turn that off. That's also a nice thing about this sunroom. It's got AC and heat, so I had the heat on earlier to warm it up before I came out here because it is a little chilly. But yeah, so my problem starts with, well, it actually came up during one of my classes, one of my philosophy classes. If you guys don't know, that is technically my major. My major is philosophy, but I'm pre-med. My school doesn't have a pre-med program, so basically they told us you can major in anything in your undergrad as long as you get your prerequisite prereq oh my god, I can't say it for some reason all of a sudden. Prerequisites. There you go. For med school, as long as you get those prereqs, then you can still go to med school and you can just major in anything in your undergrad. So that's what I'm doing. But so my major is philosophy. One of my philosophy classes when this came up was philosophy of art. Hi Willow. So my class that I was taking at the time was philosophy of art, and the topic that sparked all of this in me, like I finally had this realization, this weird kind of realization of what about the realborns is what's bothering me, is the whole idea of ownership. I said at the same time you did incorrectly. Hi DD, how are you? Yeah, so this topic came up of ownership of art and who owns art, and ownership of the body as it refers to images of individuals, images of actual existing people. So of course, in my mind, I was like, wait a minute, these realborns are like mass produced images of an existing baby. Like, sure, they're babies right now, but they are existing people, is my issue. So I made the post because I had come up with some questions, because I started feeling uneasy about the fact that there was, thousands and thousands of copies of these realborns being sold to like people all around the world, and they can choose to do with these sculpts whatever they wanted to, use them for whatever reasons they wanted to. And that's where I started having like kind of this moral dilemma when it comes to realborn specifically. Like I said earlier in this video, if you are rewatching this live, I do also kind of include in this category the sculpted portrait sculpts, but it's not the same thing for me anyway. But yeah, so I started thinking about that, and I was like, it's kind of weird to think about it that way, that this is someone's, like, this is, yes, of course this is a sculpt, it's a an image, but it's an image of a real baby. Like, this is an existing person out there somewhere, and it's not, I know it's not the same thing as it actually being the person, duh, like, that's not the point I'm making. um my point is, how is it kind of problematic that they're profiting off of a image of a baby? So this, and then this is also, so I posted, I can't remember the questions that I actually asked. I think I asked, like, so what happens to the money that comes from the realborns? Do the parents get the money? Some of the rights to the image? Like, I think my question was like, so if one of the questions was, so where does the money go to? Does some of the portions of the income from the realborn sales, does that go to the parents of the realborns for, like, funds towards the baby's eventual college fund, or whatever they want to put aside for the baby when it grows up? Do the funds kind of go to that? Do the parents get any of the funds? And I don't think anyone really answered that question, because it seemed like no one really knew. One of the moms of the realborns was kind of upset with the idea that I thought it was problematic, and was like, well, her babies, I think she was like the mom of realborn Joseph and a couple of the other realborns. She has like a lot of kids. Um, she was upset because she thought I was implying that what she was doing was wrong by having her baby scanned. And that's not the point that I'm making. I just think it's kind of, it could be wrong, is the point that I want to make. And if we don't have these, like, things set in place, so the other question that I asked is, what happens then when the child grows up and they realize, hey, there's thousands of images of me as a baby that are all around the world, that are 3D scans. It's different than like a picture. It's a 3D representation of me as a baby. I know personally I would not like that. I wouldn't personally want even baby images of me mass produce around the world. I'm sure, like, a lot of people feel differently. Like, a lot of people would have loved to have pictures or portraits of them as a baby all around the world for people to enjoy. But for me personally, I don't like that. I don't like that idea of having myself as a baby, even as a baby, reproduced all over the world. So my question with that was, so what happens what happens if that baby grows up and is like, hey, I don't want this. I don't want the realborns to exist of myself. I didn't agree to this because I was obviously a baby, and you agreed to it, which another problem I want to get into. So what then happens to the realborns that came from that person's images of when they were a baby? Of course, this is going to be like years and years down the line, and I'm sure they'll come up with some kind of mechanism to control this in the meantime. But this is like I guess why I'm still sort of okay with the idea of painting realborns, is because this is such a future issue to worry about. It is like a much further down the line issue to worry about. But my thing is, like, what then happens to the realborns? Do they have to stop producing those realborns then, if the person who grows up and is like, I don't like this idea of having, because the reborn community itself is kind of a niche thing, and it's a kind of a weird thing for a lot of people. So if this person grows up and doesn't appreciate the dolls like their parents did, can they then ask Bountiful Baby to destroy the image? Like, can they then ask Bountiful Baby to stop producing that realborn version? So, for example, I don't know if any of this is making sense, so I'm just going to use an example of realborn Ashley. So say realborn Ashley is like 20 years old, like she's my age, which hopefully she'll get to that age, which is another thing I want to get into. So realborn Ashley grows up. She's like 20 years old. She's in college. Some people in college figure out somehow they figure out that she has like a 3D scan of herself as a baby reproduced in this kind of weird community. Can she then go to Bountiful Baby, say, "Hi, I'm realborn Ashley, and I don't want my image to be produced anymore. Stop producing realborn Ashleys. Can you try to get people to destroy their realborn Ashleys?" Does she have any rights to her image as a baby, is what I'm saying. And then if she doesn't have any rights to that, I think that's problematic. Like if she doesn't have any control to say that, hey, I don't want this to be produced anymore, I think that's kind of problematic, you know? Um, so that was one of the issues, the like dilemmas that I came up with, like that surrounds this idea of realborns and sculpted portrait sculpts is what then of the children who grow up and don't want this to happen? They didn't want this to happen, but their parents decided for them that they wanted this to happen. So that's another, that leads into my second question that I had, and people absolutely took it the wrong way on the forum when I originally made this topic. They were very upset with me because they just weren't understanding what my point is. Oh, hi Jennifer. Jennifer, this comment section might get messy, so just pay attention to the comments. I can't read them all. Oh, hold on. I'm good and staying safe. Of course you are. Please stay safe. I wish there was to hang out with you and to pick your brain and watch documentaries. That would be amazing. Oh my gosh. I am so lonely, but not really because I still have my family here. Yeah, just when some sad parents use their kids' social to get credit and ruin their credit. Yeah, exactly. So she should be. That's creepy not to ask to destroy the baby. One, that's mean. And two, those cost a lot of money. So if you have one more, that's a baby. It's if it's anything like baby modeling, they will not have rights to their image because their legal guardians signed over the rights. Okay, so yeah, that's the thing. So that even question for me, honestly, I think how weird that is. So you're saying that these people, because they're people, these people don't have the right to their image at all because they're under the age of 18. That's kind of weird to me. Um, Hi, Mary Beth. You're fine. So I'm just getting into the thick of what I'm talking about is like the realborns and the sculpted portrait sculpts. And so yeah, so it's kind of weird to me that we say, oh yeah, we have to protect the children, but also these kids do stuff like the baby modeling don't have rights to their actual image. So yeah, um, so when it applies to the realborns, I think that's kind of if they don't eventually have rights to the reproduction of their image, I think that's kind of a moral problem to me because it's saying that basically it doesn't matter what your parent chooses to do with your pictures or images or anything as a baby, and they can put them all out there if they want to, and that's their right as a parent. I don't personally, of course, I'm not a parent yet, but I don't think when I become a parent it will be within my rights to mass produce my baby's image. I think that's just kind of weird, and I wouldn't want it to happen to me. And I think a lot of people wouldn't want that to happen to them. So I don't know why a lot of parents then choose to do that to their kids. Like, oh my gosh, like I've seen like oh my gosh. Speaking, an example of that where it goes wrong is the toddlers and tiaras. I know a lot of people don't know what that show is. If you don't, it's a hot mess. It's on TLC, or it was. I think they stopped the show because it was so problematic. But it's about the beauty pageants, the kids' beauty pageants. Both boys and girls are on the show, but it's called Toddlers and Tiaras. It's super problematic. They're like selling out their kids basically, and a lot of the kids don't even enjoy the pageantry. They don't enjoy performing, but their parents want them to do it anyway because they get the benefit from it, and the kids are so cute and stuff. But that was it was a horrible horrible show. It was borderline abuse, I think, in some of the cases on that show. If you might know, that's where Honey Boo Boo came from, was Toddlers and Tiaras. And then she had a whole exploitative, like, they did the spin-off of her show, and that was extremely exploitative. So, like, so where does that line, where do we draw this line when it comes to the realborns, where is it exploitative, or is it just a part of the art form? And why do parents get to choose to make that decision for their children, who eventually, like, when they're my age, they might say, I don't want that. um yeah, so I think that's like my biggest dilemma when it comes to the realborns, because I love the realborns. The idea of them are so, it's so cool what technology can do, and how, the level of realism that you get from the realborns, because they are the 3D images. So a lot of the creases and everything are extremely detailed. They are exact how they would be on the real baby. But at the same time, it's like, it's kind of weird to think about it. And yeah, so I got attacked for this, like, idea that maybe the parents shouldn't be able to make this decision. um the parents of some of the parents of the realborns and some of the parents of the, like, portrait sculpts got mad at me, because they were like, you can't tell us what to do with our children. And I was like, that's not what I was saying. My thoughts were kind of along the line with, maybe you should think more about what you're doing for your future child, not then you. It's not all about you, is what I'm saying. Like, as a parent, they were like, yeah, well, I want. But I'm like, well, what about what your future child is going to want? Is my thing. They weren't considering what, I don't think they were really considering what the future child might want. They think they were, a lot of the parents were mothers, and they were all like, well, of course I want an image of my baby, because it's such a special time in their life that I want to remember it. Therefore, it's justified because it's what I want. And my thing was always, well, what about the child? Um, that ultimately, this is their image that is being reproduced. It's not your image. So I don't know if it should be their say solely. But yeah, so that's kind of the basis of my problems with, like, this whole idea of reproducing these images. But like I said, at the same time, this is, I acknowledge, a very much a future issue. So I think someone on the forum post, it's still up, obviously, so you can go read the comments on that. But, and I'll link it in this video afterwards. But a lot of the people were like, well, you're overthinking it, and that's how we know you're a philosophy major, because only a philosophy major would be thinking about issues that are so far in advance. Like, we're probably thinking a lot of these realborns are still toddlers. So we're probably thinking, like, I'm thinking like 18 years in advance, probably. But they were like, so right now at this point, it's kind of an amoral situation, where it's not like, it's not immoral, and it's not morally, it's just like in this kind of gray area as far as morality goes, whereas we don't know ultimately what the result of these mass-produced images are going to be. Therefore, it's not immoral or it's not moral. It's just kind of in this, like, gray area where it's kind of it's just an unknown at this point. But I think my problem is with that is, I don't think anything is really in that kind of moral gray area. I think there is things that we have seen before, like the toddlers and tiaras, that shows us this might ultimately not be a great idea for the kids. Let me catch up on some of the comments. It's the same thing too with, I have kind of a problem with babies being used to sell things. I think that's kind of problematic too, because you're using a child to make profit. It's kind of weird. Why didn't you message me, silly, to let me know if you need me to mod? Sorry, it just kind of came up because I was thinking about it, and I'm gonna get into why it came back into my mind in a second, but I'm gonna catch up on the comments first. So sorry I didn't message you ahead of time. I totally would have. Because I know this is a very tricky topic to navigate because a lot of people feel so strongly about portrait sculpts and the realborns. But yeah, hi Queen Bee. Novi said that was the grossest show. Yes, disgusting show. Yes, and it's not the child's fault nor is it the buyer's fault. But I get they should have some understanding, especially knowing what they're gonna do with the sculpt. Yeah, exactly. What was the name of the little girl that completely went missing? She was in the you mean in pageants? I think that was God, what is her name? I know who you're talking about, but for I had her name in my mind and it just left. But yeah, she did pageants and she went missing. Oh, John Bonet. I think it like oh God, I can't remember her name. It's something Bonet, I think. You took the words out of my mouth. I'm gonna sue. I'm gonna sue you now. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't think they would have the legal rights to even sue for their image because they're not protected. Is the exact reason I can't bring myself to buy one, even though there's a couple I really want. Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to navigate how I feel about them. That's why it is a dilemma for me because I'm not really sure what to think about them because it's kind of a unprecedented area. I'm sad to say there's parents who don't think much about those. I have a kid, and I see parents like all the time at her school events. And so I watched the show, and I feel so bad for those kids, and remembered the women they would always tell them to tumble, and the baby would, and the black mom hurrying as she's blocked. Oh, not trying to say it's race thing, but it made me feel uneasy. Yeah, if you guys have not watched Toddlers and Tiaras, please just go watch it so you can understand what I'm saying, why it's kind of that really problematic territory. Some of those moms are just absolutely insane on there. It just doesn't seem real, but I know it's real because I went to a pageant before and it happens. Um, I don't have any twins photographed in my school. We signed waivers, exactly. Yeah, Loves and John Benet. John Benet. Yes, okay. Um, 7 years old. She told me she didn't want it, so I stopped it. That's what should happen. If a child finally gets at a point where they say they don't want to do something, you know, they shouldn't have to be forced to do it. But I see these parents all the time who still force their kids, obviously, who aren't enjoying it. Like if you watch this show, you can definitely tell the kids that are enjoying it versus the kids who do not want to be there at all. And it feels so bad for them because even though they are very clear about not wanting to be there, the parents just don't care because of whatever benefits they're getting from it for themselves. Crack it when it's just creepy. It's kind of boo boo now. You can see from it. Oh, it's very real. And John Benet was murdered, not missing. Yeah. Okay. So, okay. The reason why today I was just painting and I remembered why I thought about this again recently because of what happened to actually one of the realborns. And this is one of the reasons why I've been kind of recently backing off a little bit of Bountiful Baby. Um, unless like I really, really need something from them. I've been kind of backing off from buying as much. I already don't buy that much from them, to be honest. I buy from them like once a month, maybe, only necessary supplies if I need a new kit or something. But I'm starting to really back off buying from them because of this situation that happened with one of the realborns. So I was thinking about it because I was like, well, realborn Ashley is actually basically the same size as this baby that I'm going to talk about next. I believe I'm pretty sure it's realborn Leaf that this happened to. So guys, if you don't know, this is a very, very sad topic that I'm about to talk about. So please, if you are triggered by loss of babies, which I know a lot of people are in this community, loss of infant loss, uh, this is probably not something you want to hear about, but it is good to know about because they didn't start putting this out. They didn't put this on their website until very recently, and this happened way before that. So I'm going to just get into it. So if you guys are if you know about the realborns, you know there's a set of realborn twins. There's a couple sets, but this one in particular, they're preemie size. They're like, I think 17, 18 inches. And they're realborn Aspen and realborn Leaf. So I think it was like, I think their realborns were released last year or the year before. They're not new. They're not new realborns. They didn't just come out. So this information is kind of, I'm really, really upset that they just kind of released their statement about this very recently. And yeah, it's real messed up. So yeah, anyway, so they're realborn twins, realborn Leaf, and realborn Aspen. Aspen is the little girl, and Leaf is the little boy. I'm pretty sure I have my facts right. I'm pretty sure it's Leaf is the boy. Either way, the little boy ended up passing away shortly after he was scanned to become a realborn. And Bountiful Baby didn't decide to put out a statement or tell people that are buying this kit of a now deceased baby that the baby had passed away until very recently is when they just put out a statement on his page. So if you go to look up Realborn Leaf to buy his blank kit, now there is a statement saying what happened. Well, it doesn't tell you how he passed away, but it just says Realborn Leaf has passed away. He passed away shortly after being scanned, and the mother still wants us to produce his kit as a kind of a memory of him when he was alive. And I think that is so unsettling, so problematic that they let people continue to buy that kit for months and months and months before putting out that statement. Um, I'm sure part of like the delay was them trying to communicate with the mother what she wanted to continue to do, but this has been a while since his kit was made and since he passed away, and they just put the statement onto the website. And the only reason also why they more than likely put the statement out was people started to figure out that he had passed away through the grapevine. People had just started figuring out that Realborn Leaf had passed away. The baby had passed away, and so I think they had to be forced. I think they were forced to put out a statement on his kit site. So I'll also link the statement, and you can read that for yourself. But that really, really, really rubs me the absolute wrong way. I think that was so distasteful how they did that. Um, how they went about that situation, because now there are people who have bought the Realborn Leaf kit and did not know, obviously, that the baby had passed away. And there's going to be two different. I saw when they finally put the statement out and they posted on the forum, or someone talked about it on the forum. There was two different responses to this situation. People who were like, "Well, now I really, really don't want to buy that kit because it's just kind of what's the word for it? Where it's kind of not gothic, macabre, like it's spelled MACBRE, macrabe. It's kind of like a memento mori, death memorial type of thing. That's kind of makes morbid. Yeah, morbid. It makes people very uncomfortable. So there was two responses: people who were freaked out about the fact that now this baby is dead, and yet we still are producing their image. And then there was the other side of this where people were saying that they were now going to go buy the baby kit, buy Leaf's kit as a memory to make the mother feel better that her baby is still living on in a way through his realborn sculpt. So there's two different ways you could take this information. I took it as, wow, that's disturbing, and now I would have bought his kit because I do like the size of the kit, but now it very much disturbs me, and I don't think I would paint his kit because it freaks me out for whatever reason. It freaks me out. It really does. So when I found out that he had passed away, it really jogged my mind with, again, this whole dilemma, if that's okay or not. Sure, they have the parents' permission to continue to make that kit. But God, that's weird. That is a weird situation. And again, I'm sure like people make memorial babies all the time in the reborn community, but I don't think they've. I think this is the first situation that I've known about that the actual sculpt itself was from a passed away baby. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys know any other sculpt that this kind of situation is similar, like it was sculpted or it was after a baby who later passed away, but this is the only time that I know that this has happened, where the sculpt that the baby that the sculpt was based on is no longer alive. So yeah, that really jogged some of these questions that I had before. If this is kind of a right thing that we're doing with these things, it's just it's upsetting. It's really disturbing and upsetting to me that they waited so long to say anything. Because if you think about it, from the time that a realborn is scanned to the kit being released, it's not right away. It takes several months at least and sometimes they don't get released till the next year. So they knew Bountiful Baby definitely knew for a while that this baby had passed away and had his sculpt out and didn't say anything. So again, I don't know if they did that to respect the mother's wishes or not, but it seemed like the mother wanted the kit to be still reproduced. So I don't know why they waited so long, and I think they really were forced to say something when people started catching on that he had passed away. And then furthermore, now they've released the realborn Aspen in sleep, and that is even more. God, that is even more sad to me now that we see that only the surviving twin has a sleep version. She was awake in the original when they released. So I think right, she was sleeping. No, she was. So I think it was Realborn Aspen awake, and then Realborn Leaf was asleep, and now they have a Realborn Aspen asleep. But of course, there's not going to be a Realborn Leaf awake. So now that they've gone on and not only have continued to produce their kits, they now have reproduced poor surviving twin. It's even more disturbing to me now, because now you really see that it's just, oh God, it's so sad. So yeah, it's a very touchy subject, and I'm sorry for people who didn't want to hear about that, but I think you guys should know that Realborn Leaf is no longer alive. So just keep that in mind if you are deciding if you want to purchase his kit or not. It's definitely something I think people ought to know. And yeah, let me catch up with some of the comments. It's yeah. Oh yes, I heard that story. Sorry. I can't have kids at all. I had a partial hysterectomy, so I can't have kids. So I'm really thankful for this community. There's so much talent of silicones. Yeah, it's ultimately I love the community, but some of the things that are being done are kind of concerning me. The more I look into it, I don't know if that's true. If they're just profit driven, or they just didn't think about it. Loving my babies forever. It's like I said, it's a tricky territory to traverse for a company and for everyone involved. So I don't know. I don't want to say that they're just continuing with it for profit, because I don't know that to be the truth, and I don't want to speculate on that. I'm stating my opinion, my feelings about the situation and how it was kind of disturbingly handled. But I won't say if it's just because it's for profit. I can't say that definitively, so I won't. My Berisha boy looks like the baby pick, and it freaked me out in a good way when I flipped out. Dawn did this for my Caden. Yeah, morbid. I read that. Why did they allow a preemie to be scanned and pass hands when they are fragile? I don't release until they are out of the woods, but you still have to protect them. Yeah, I don't know really why they let such little babies. Because if you've seen the kits, even Ashley is really tiny, but I think Leaf and Aspen were smaller than that. So I don't know why they let such little babies, participate in it. I don't know. John Benet. Yeah, it's John Benet Ramsey was the little girl we were talking about earlier. The majority of my babies are realborns. Yeah, it was extra upsetting because he was a preemie. Yeah, I used to watch Helper and Mistress of the Dark and Ocean. It was beautiful and showed old scary music. It's cash. So tacky, and did they ever think about how a twin would feel? Of course not. They don't care. Again, I don't know. I'm not going to speculate of why they did it, but they did. Like they did do it. So that's not speculation. This is a fact of how they did it. So I won't. I'm not going to speculate on why they did it. I'm just going to say this is how it went about. You know, because you can't get me in trouble if this is actually the events that happened. But I will not speculate on why they decided to do the way handle the situation the way they did. I can't say for sure, and I won't try to. Hi Kim. Hi Kim's world. Again, you're talking about the Kingstons, and I don't even know if that's true or not. So I won't again comment on that anymore because there's so much speculation about if that's true or not, or if that information is accurate or current. My thing is a lot of that stuff that the YouTuber is sharing is not current information and is misleading. So I can't really speculate on the Kingston clan or any of that. I won't do that anymore. I would understand the parents wanted one made for them. Yeah, see that's my thing. If it's just for them, um, now I agree just hard because no one lives in the mom's shoes but the mom. She did what she felt in her heart, but not many agree. Yeah. I don't want to get into don't want to end up getting in a lawsuit like the other artists. Yeah. Well, they can't really say anything about me because, like I said, all of this did happen, and you can go back and look and see when they finally like. I can even show where they actually finally released the information about his passing versus where he was actually first. Scan. That was sorry, my granddad opened the door, but yeah, you can't I can't get in trouble for it because again, I'm not speculating on why they did it. I'm just saying this is what happened and how I feel about it because I just feel like it makes me queasy to think about the fact that there's now a passed away baby whose image is still being reproduced every day. Um, it just makes me kind of feel very weird about the situation. But yeah, all of what I said did happen, and it did happen not right away, and it did take months for them at least to release a statement about his passing. And yeah, so that's kind of what sparked me talking about this again. Like I said, I had made a post back in October that wasn't really received well because another reason why people were upset at me for talking about that topic was I talked about it on the Bountiful Baby forum, which in hindsight wasn't the nicest thing to do, but I thought that because it was a forum, despite being a Bountiful Baby forum, and they talk about they talk about problems they have with Bountiful Baby all the time on that forum. It's just when I started talking about it and brought up a good point, people got upset with me because people are so they love the Realborn so much. So that's the reason why I think I got attacked, not because I was talking about it on the Bountiful Baby forum. I think a lot of people were really mad. Really, people were mad that they felt like they personally, as artists, were being attacked for using the Realborns, even though I said in the post that I paint Realborns as well. So if anything, if I was attacking, which I wasn't, I was also attacking myself. But yeah, I'll link that whole discussion, and you guys can read and see what I'm talking about. That people were just, I think now they made it like private, so you would have to join the forum to see it. But it was a whole thing. People were really mad at me for bringing it up, even though I think it is a very, very important topic to think about. If we're not thinking about it, even though it's gonna be like what 18 years in the future, if we're not thinking about it now, when do we start thinking about it? When it happens? When the kids start saying they don't want their images? I don't know. I like to think of things beforehand, but a lot of people don't, and again, I guess that's just kind of the philosophy major in me that wants to think of things before they happen, the possibilities that could happen beforehand. But yeah, yeah. So I really doubt I'll get any trouble for this video because it is my opinion, and it's not really to say what they're doing is wrong. My point is that we should think about these things when we do stuff with this with images in this community, and in general baby images, and in general I think is we should think about these things before we do them, because they are while they don't have a say now, most of them are going to become people who do have a say later on in life, and I think it's important to consider that um, when we do the things that we do. And again, like I said, I'm not a parent, so I cannot come from the perspective of a parent. I'm just coming from someone whose images were kind of used. Like when I was younger, I was in dance and I hated it, and I had to beg and beg and beg and beg for my mom to take me out of it. So kind of like stuff like that. I do have like kind of a different aspect of I was kind of in that childhood, that controlling a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I hope all of this made sense. I think I made myself very clear that I'm not trying to attack anyone for enjoying the realborns. I think it's just something we should think about because obviously I'm still painting them, but it is a dilemma for me that I don't know what I want to continue to do with them. Um, if I wanted to continue painting them, I don't know. It's hard. It's very hard situation. Okay, let me catch up. I agree they should not have been scanning a preemie. So sad. In the end, to each their own. Yeah, I don't know if that's so simple to say to each their own, um, because that takes away blame, and ultimately, if the situation does go south, like in about 18 years, the kids don't want this to happen. We can't continue to say to each their own when it's an actual situation that comes up. Um, in the end, it's up to each. Oh, I think you're referring to if someone wants to continue to purchase Reborn Leave. I think that's what you're referring to. In the end, it's up to each of us to make our own decisions if we want to buy one or not. It's okay to open dialogues. Yeah, that's basically what I want to do. I want to open dialogue about this because it's definitely a difficult situation. It happened. You can rewatch what I just talked about, but it's basically about Realborn Leaf. Yes, please, guys, we don't need to make him like those others, so we understand. No more talk about it. We just want to be sure about that. Hi, Grampy. Take care of Grampy. um, Again, Paige, I really don't want to speculate on the Mormon fundamentalists, clans, and cults and stuff because we don't know the truth about that. Some of my fellow YouTubers who are making videos about that think they know everything about the situation, but they don't. So I'm not going to continue to talk about that. And Jennifer, if people continue commenting about the cults, please let them know. I don't want to continue to talk about that or try to, because that's not really what this was about. This is about in general. This is not about the cults. This is not about the Kingston clan. This is not what this video is about. And I'm, again, like I said, I am not going to claim that they are part of that because no one knows at this point. There's no current information. We can't base things off of a 7-year-old video that he already admitted that he used to be a part of that, but he's not now, is what he says. So I don't know how much truth to any of the situation is, and none of us do, because guess what? We're not involved in the lawsuit. We don't know. We're outside spectators. So I'm done talking about that. I really am. Like, I'm so sick of people messaging me about that because I don't know. You don't know. The only ones who really, really know are the people directly involved. And of course, they're going to share on their platform what makes them look better because it's a lawsuit, you guys. Of course, they're going to share things that make the other side look better or make the other side look bad because it's better for their lawsuit. So I think there's a lot of bias that we're seeing that's happening because one of the persons involved in this lawsuit has a big social media platform. So of course we're going to see more of their side of the story than the company's side of the story. So that's all I'm going to say about that. I'm done with really getting into that because it's honestly we don't know. We don't know. And if you say you know, you don't. Yeah, they are mad because the lawsuit. Again, not talking about that. Loving My Babies has many sides to it: the parent side, sibling side, artist side, adoptive parent side. Also, you have a problem on the outside that aren't involved, and more. Everyone has ideas. Yeah, that's the thing. Oh my god, so sad. Didi, you're texting doesn't make sure. That's why I left my Jennifer. That's why I left my comment general. Yeah. Loving My Babies. Yes. They get a lot of free tons. Sheesh, yeah. Page. It's probably best to keep their names out of here. Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Jen. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Jen. Like I said, we don't know, and if you think you know, you don't. Um, and that's in general with like disputes. A lot of times I find myself casually getting involved with a lot of disputes in the community because it does end up affecting all of us, but I can only comment on things from an outside perspective because I don't really have any disputes within myself within another person. So I try to look at things from a like a community aspect, but again, like I said, we are not involved in any of the most of us aren't involved in the actual disputes that happen in the community. They're mostly between like some of the artists and like some of the companies and but us ourselves like just people casual artists like myself and casual collectors we're usually not the ones who are directly involved in the drama. So I think it's important to for people to note that all we know about any situation that happens is from indirect sources. Like we hear things secondhand, and that's with anything, even with like some of the news like that are surrounding even. I think if I say it, I get demonetized, so I won't. But the virus that's going around right now, currently, the really sad thing that's happening is a lot of people are getting their news, their information indirectly, so not from the CDC or not from the people actually in charge. And a lot of misinformation is that's how misinformation is happening because a lot of people are falling into the well I heard my coworker who heard this person say that if you one of my favorite things that came out of this was um one of my favorite things that came out of this is just ridiculous. One of the politicians, I think he was in like Texas or something, he said that if you hold a um like a hair dryer up to your nose, it'll kill the virus. That he said he heard from someone else who heard from a doctor, and it was completely false. So that's what I'm saying. Like information that we get a lot of times doesn't isn't correct. So that's the point I want to make. It's not just about our situation. It's not just about the community. It's in general with human beings. We are so good at gossiping. We are so good at getting information, and it just along the lines it gets misconstrued. We get pieces of information that get left out, pieces of information that are like left out on purpose to make one side look better than the other. That's just human nature. It's one of those things. It's kind of interesting if you want to study that how things happen. But yeah, like I don't know if any of you guys played this as a child, but we used to play telephone just to prove this idea how information gets lost along the way. But yeah, so I try not to. I only when I comment on things, it is only from an outside perspective, and I cannot claim anything from the inner workings of the disputes. So I hope you guys take that and start applying that to when you're hearing this information that's coming within our community or things that are coming from the outside that we're all dealing with the virus. I hope you take this like word of advice and really try to get at the source if you can of the information instead of secondhand or third hand or fourth hand information um, that might be inherently biased. Um, I hope that makes sense. Now bring out Emerson. I am not going to get her. She is all the way upstairs. I'm on the first floor. I don't want to go get her because then I'll have to leave my phone probably. Um, or I don't know. Maybe I'll take my phone with me. Maybe I'll get her in a second. I think once the kids become adults, they should be able to end production of the kits from their images. That I think would be the the thing that would make the most sense in the situation. Like if that comes to happen, I think there should be kind of like a situation where they sign something and they are allowed to end production, like you said, when they become adults. I definitely think that would be the most sensible thing to do in this situation if that happens. Like like I said, if Realborn actually grows up and she doesn't want this her sculpt anymore to be available, she should be able to sign something and say, "Nope, I don't want this to happen anymore." I think that is fair, and I think at that point, if like we're talking about like 18 years in advance, but at that point they would have made enough money from her kit that I feel like they would be fine with retiring it. If that would be the issue, I think they would be fine with retiring it at that point. So I'm hoping that's what their plan is. I again don't know what their plan with that would be. But yeah, I thought it was a very important thing to talk about. And like I said, I never talked about it before because people on that forum made me feel so freaking bad about even thinking about it. They made me feel so ashamed that I had actually thought about things. Imagine that, like making me feel bad that I was thinking about things that are real things that could happen. But yeah, so I never shared it when I first made that forum post because I was a little. This was back in October, so I was still like, I don't want to get too controversial on my channel. But now I'm like, this is my channel, and if you don't like a topic that I'm doing, you don't have to watch that video, and you can go watch another one of my more fun videos. But I like to talk about real stuff sometimes as well. But I think tomorrow I'm going to go on a walk. I think it's supposed to stop raining tomorrow, and then I can go on a walk. Because let me flip around the video. I don't know how much you can see, but there's a golf course out there, and there's like no one who actually golfs on it really more. There's like a few people who still come, but there's a golf course, and it has a nice little trail, and it goes around, and it's so nice out there. So I'll probably try to go for a walk tomorrow. It's not raining with Emerson. So I'll try to film that if I can. I don't know. It's gonna be weird if I go by myself. Um, my little cousin was here, and I should have had him yesterday film me for a video tomorrow. Um, I should have just like had him film it while he's here. He's 12, so he like he's almost 13 actually. He's almost 13, so he obviously knows how to use a camera. So I could have had him film a walk with us, but I didn't think about it yesterday. And it was a nice day yesterday. Man, I should have done that. Well, it's life. Um, welcome to my legal world. Disputes can get scary. I try to stay away. Yeah, I would. That's another thing I would have loved to have done. Become like a lawyer or something because of how I think about things. But I'm gonna be a doctor instead. I didn't know, and I so you don't know you're hilarious. I'm gonna see McCain engines. I could put pics up. Always want to send you pics. If you want to send me stuff, definitely like, uh, yeah. If you want to send me pics through my Instagram or my email, I would love to see your collection. I deleted the names. Thank you for deleting the names because I don't really want to, um, to get your opinion yet about the virus. Thanks for this forum and thank you for reminding myself of it. I had my twins playing yesterday. Now we're talking well. I was just joking. Better to watch the news or the president. Oof, I don't know about the president. He shares a lot of false information as well. So I don't know if I would say use him as a source. I think I would definitely, if you're going to get information, probably from actual scientists and from the CDC, not the president, because he shared a lot of false information himself, which is kind of common for him. But he had his original speech about the virus. He had to retract everything that he said in his speech on his actual Twitter, which is crazy sentence that I never thought I was gonna have to say, that the president on his Twitter had to retract information. Anyway, but yeah, so if you're going to look for information about what's going on, I would definitely try to look at the CDC first because they're going to have the most accurate information because it's their whole thing. Or, scientists in the field. Um, it's in the contact, I hope. Government state. I'm just looking to my Lulu and they don't respect law. They don't know laws. Yeah. Maybe martial law. I don't know. Speaking from a legal stance, it's a place to take a walk. I'll try to tune into that video for sure. If what I'm thinking is I'm probably gonna have to film it on my phone tomorrow. So I'm trying to decide if I should go live for that as well. Although going live kills my phone battery, so I don't really want to get stranded out there and not have my phone charged. Um, but I don't know. So I might do a live walk, and that'll be really nice also to watch. Join me live while I walk around a super nice area. It's really pretty. Um, and there's like animals and stuff. Like there's geese and ducks and deer sometimes just hang out around here. And they don't like run away. Like the deer here are not afraid of you, so they don't run away when you walk towards them. But so it might be really nice. It'll probably be a nice day tomorrow, I think. So we'll see. We'll see. I'll see if I either do an actual filmed video or live. I haven't decided yet. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Try to make sure see if you can check. Looks like a beautiful place. It is. I love this area so much. Sorry, my son is on Skype with class. That's okay, Jennifer. I don't fault you. I just finished my classes that I had to do. Well, I didn't technically. I don't like to procrastinate. So I finished with all my classes today, earlier today, and most of the stuff wasn't due till Sunday or the beginning of next week. But I wanted to go ahead and get it done anyway, so I can just paint and relax for the rest of the week. So that's what I'm gonna do is just paint and relax for the rest of the week because now I'm done. Like, I don't think, yeah, I don't have anything left. So it's been really, I actually really like doing it online classes. Turns out I was concerned that I wasn't gonna like it because I do like the one-on-one kind of uh, interaction with my professor, and I like interacting with people in class. I love that kind of interaction, but this online classes haven't been bad either because it does allow me to go ahead and get everything done, so I don't have to worry about it for the rest of the week. And whereas when we had our in-person class, they would assign things throughout the week, but now they're just assigning everything in the very beginning of the week or over the weekend, and then you can work on it on your own schedule because not everyone has the same schedule now with this whole situation. So I really like the way that my professors have been handling it. We are not required to do any of like the Zoom meeting classes. All the Zoom meeting, like the video message, like the video classes are optional, is how they're doing it, my professors. So like for example, I did my Tai Chi class yesterday from through Zoom, and that was really nice. It was optional; you didn't have to do it. You could just do Tai Chi on your own, but it was really nice, and most of our class actually showed up for the meeting. So that was really fun because I was so self conscious when I was taking Tai Chi in the actual class because everyone looks at you and you're all looking at everyone else. And when you're doing it via Zoom, you can turn off your camera and you can just watch her, the professor, the instructor, do the movements, and you can just follow her, and you feel like more confident just being yourself by yourself. So I actually really enjoyed that. So I hope she continues to give us that option of just watching her doing it, and we follow along in our respective homes. But it was really relaxing. It was a really nice way to start off the day doing some Tai Chi. It was really cool. But yeah, so all of my classes are making it so if they want to do a Zoom class meeting, it's optional because they understand not everyone's going to have access to the internet at the same time, or life is happening all around us, and it's kind of everyone's not on the same schedule anymore. But yeah, I really like how they're handling it, and I was really concerned, and now I'm kind of relaxed and relieved with the situation. Like I haven't been out the house since Friday, and honestly, it hasn't been that bad because you guys know I like this. I was in my dorm most of the time anyway, so it's not really weird to me. And plus now, since I'm here, I do have my family here, and it's not like I'm completely alone for the entire day. And I can paint and look out the window, or I could go outside and I can sit. And we have an outdoor. We have a big deck that's back here, and big backyard, and you can just hang out. And I don't know, it's really nice. I'm enjoying my time despite the stress of the overall situation. But yeah. Um, his task force is made up of doctors. Yes, that is true. That is true about his task force. But he himself is not a scientist, and he's sharing misinformation that he shouldn't be sharing. And then if you watch the briefings, his task force, you can see them making faces in the background when he's saying unauthorized information. It's kind of funny, but also kind of scary. But you can see them in the background reacting to some of the things he says. There's several videos of like the main doctor who very much disagrees with how he's doing things. But yeah. So just be careful where you're getting information. Is kind of the whole theme of this second half of this video. Is be careful where you get your information of bias and situations that the other party might be controlling. I want you to know, Sean, that I had 11 live shut down and had another shut down 8 times for comments and talking about stuff. I think Jennifer, it's only if you actually say the name. So I'm not saying the name of the virus. So I think I'm fine because they demonetized my other video where I was talking about what was happening and why I was having to leave my dorm. They demonetized that, or they limited the monetization on that video, which was so annoying because what are we supposed to do? I'm explaining why I'm having to leave my dorm all of a sudden. I don't think I YouTube is being so stupid. I see what you did there. They look at you like a deer caught in headlights. Yes, you got me there. Yes, but they do like the deer around here. They just look at you, and even if you like try to scare them, they just like walk away slowly if they don't feel like being around you anymore. Can you post a heads up on Instagram for the live since YouTube's notifications are slow? Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow. Definitely, if I decide to do the live video. um, My daughter really loves her online classes too. Granted, they are second grade classes. That's yeah. Oh my god. Speaking of like second grade, my little cousin is in second grade, but he's in like a private school, so they're like really advanced. But the amount of work they are giving these like little kids is crazy. I helped him last week with his schoolwork, and we sat together for 5 hours, and he had already been doing work before that. So I came and we still had I sat with him and we did 5 hours of his work. He has so much schoolwork, and I'm like, he has more schoolwork as an 8-year-old than I do as a college student. Like he had so many different classes that he had to do work for because they just were assigning a bunch of stuff, and I was like, oh my god, I'm glad I'm not his age and in that cool school because that's a lot of work. But he likes school, so he was a very good sport and did all his work without any complaints. So yeah, he likes school, so it was good for him. But oh my god, I would have been like, that's so much work. Even though I do also like school, it's just oh my god, that was a lot. Um, but if you think about it, I guess they're used to being in school for like what 7 hours, so I guess it wasn't much to him. I just don't remember having that much, even when I was in my all my like upper level little classes. I don't know what they call them where you guys are, but they used to call them like tag classes. They're stood for talented and gifted classes. They were like the honors classes for like 8-year-olds. I don't know what they call them now or where they call them where you were, but yeah, even when I don't remember having that much work, but chances are I probably did have that much work, and I just don't remember it. um, but yeah, that was so funny helping him doing all that work. I was like, oh my god, another worksheet. Um, you're gonna get Zoom so we can all do a conference video chat. Ooh, that is a really good idea, Dee Dee. That's a really good idea, actually. So if you're interested in doing that, I could totally set up a Zoom room and we could do like that would be. I would love to actually see some of you guys face to face and talk to you in real time. That would be awesome. I would love to do that. So if you guys are interested in that, we could totally that could be totally something I could set up now that I have obviously I have direct connection to Wi-Fi in my nana's house, but that would be really fun. That would be like a little party. We could have all our dolls out, and that would be super cool. Thank you, Dee Dee, for that idea. I don't know why I never even thought about that, but that would be amazing. That would be so fun. So we could do that. Like that could be a reoccurring thing as well. Like Like we could do Zoom Fridays or something and have people join in who want to come and show their babies and just chat about stuff. That would be a lot of fun, and we can like it'd be like hanging out, but with social distancing. So yeah, I will look into setting that up and figuring out. And chances are I'll probably have to send out the link via on here as like the story thing on YouTube, and I'll send out the link on the story thing, and I'll also send out the link on my Instagram. I think that's what I'll have to do for that. Okay. But yeah, thank you for that idea, Didi. That was awesome idea. That would be so great. Um, elementary school can be crazy sometimes. Yeah. Zoom is okay. My son is on Zoom on his computer, but I could do Zoom on my phone. Yes, yes, you can do Zoom on your phone as well. My nana does Zoom on her phone all the time with her meetings that she has. Now with this whole thing happening with the social distancing. So yeah, a lot of people are definitely utilizing Zoom, and you can definitely use it on your phone. Um, I think you just have to download the app. I don't know if I have it on my phone. Chances are I might. I probably do somewhere. But I would probably do it through my laptop just so I could manage it easier. It's different when you're just joining in or if you're like hosting the Zoom meeting. So since I would be the host, I would more than likely do it on my laptop, which means it would be my webcam, which is poor quality, but it doesn't really matter that much because I could still see everyone else and talk with everyone else in real time. So yeah, I will definitely start looking into that when I get off of this live of how I could go about doing that. What would be the best way? We could do like a I don't know, Zoom nursery or something. I'll come up with a fun title for it, and I'll start getting that into works because I think that would be super fun for people to enjoy in this kind of difficult time. It would be really nice, and I could go outside and see how beautiful it is out here. I'll take my like laptop outside, and when it's a nice day, we could do Zoom meetings outside, and it would be really nice. I know what you were saying yesterday when the press was saying everything open by Easter. Oh God, yeah. I don't think that's gonna happen. If you don't know, by the way, Easter is my birthday. I've mentioned it a lot because people keep asking me when my birthday is. So my birthday is actually on Easter this year. It is April 12th. I'm super sad about it because I know everything is gonna be still shut down, even though he wants it to be open by Easter. It's not gonna happen. The virus is still spreading, and it's just not gonna happen by Easter. That's like a couple weeks away. But yeah, so my birthday is April 12th. It's on Easter this year, and I'll be 21. So yeah, I keep mentioning it because people keep asking when my birthday is because they know it's coming up, but they keep forgetting what day. So it's April 12th. Um, don't know if I'll go live. Maybe I'll do a Zoom meeting on my birthday or something as well. Had to plug in my phone back. Yeah, I'm gonna go off live in a soon actually because my main thing that I wanted to talk about, I already talked about in this video, so now I'm just kind of like diddly daddling, and I don't want my phone to die soon. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure I'll post more about it more than likely on my Instagram, just because a lot of people seem to be more updated on there. Sorry, ooh. People seem to be more updated on my Instagram, like they actually see what happens. Not so sure that was the best event. My poor phone was losing juice. Sean, you can always call me on Instagram. That is true as well. Is Zoom like Skype? Yes, Zoom is like Skype, but it's kind of I don't know how to explain the difference. It's as for what I'm understanding, it's easier than Skype and for a lot of people to join into because you just hit a link and it I don't know how it exactly differs from Skype, but it is similar to Skype. It's a video conferencing site and app. Dominic Sleep is coming in the mail. I like Dominic Sleep. Okay. Happy early birthday. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not really sure about the differences between Zoom and Skype. I'm not really sure at all. Um. Day after my mom's. Yeah, yeah. April 12th is a good day, but not this year. It's not a great day. Speaking of April, oh, I gotta go get some allergy medicine soon. I have bad seasonal allergies, so I need to go get some soon, very soon. I'm trying to wait for my other prescription so I don't have to go out twice. Try to limit going out, you know. Um, I don't trigger. I have two friends with that same birthday, 53 and 63. That's cool. I've only met in person one other person who had my birthday. So that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Zoom is gonna smash Skype now that this happened. You're welcome, Zoom. That's true. That's true. I think a lot more people using Zoom than Skype. I don't know why. Like I said, I don't know the difference because I just think Zoom might be better or easier for multiple people, a lot of people to join. I think that's why people are using Zoom. But yeah, like everyone's using Zoom right now for class meetings. People are using it for business meetings, for collaboration to do like projects and stuff that they were working on. Everyone's using it. You just can't name the stuff going in the world stuff. Oh yes, thank you, Jennifer. That is a very, very good point. If you are, I say my cutoff really is if you're under the age of 16. Please, please, if you're gonna join in my Zoom and you're watching this live back, please ask your parents and make sure I know that you have their permission because people will try to get me in trouble and I do not want my channel to get shut down. No, thank you. I don't want to get shut down for some kid who didn't ask their parents and now I'm in trouble because they got in trouble. Like I don't want that to happen. So thank you, Jennifer, for bringing that up. I'll make sure I put that with the post that I make when I figure out how to do this whole thing. I'm kind of like an old man when it comes to technology, so I'm gonna have to like really figure it out before I post it. So it might be later on today, it might be tomorrow when I figure out the logistics of how to do it with I don't know. I don't like even know if there's a cap to how many people can do a Zoom meeting at once because I know a lot of people are going to want to probably join. So I don't know if there's going to be like some kind of cap um, to how many people can join into the meeting. Well, at least now you can celebrate your big day with your beloved family. Yes, that's it. That's a bright side of this whole thing. So my aunt, her birthday is April 13th, which is the day after my birthday. And this is big birthdays for a lot of people in our family. So my aunt, she's turning 50, which she's really excited about, obviously. And then my nana's turning 70 and I'm turning 21 and my other like my uncle, he's turning 50 as well. My aunt's husband this year is turning 50. So it's a big year for birthdays in my family. It just had to be this year that all of this is happening. So what my aunt and I are trying to decide, we're probably going to do something here just with, our family. So nothing big obviously with outside people. And she'll probably do a bigger celebration for herself sometime in the summer when things start getting calmer again. But yeah, so we're probably gonna do something together that weekend just because what else can we do other than be with family because you're not really supposed to be with anyone outside your immediate family or people gatherings over 10 and stuff like that. So it'll be nice to celebrate with her our birthdays together. So yeah, that is looking on the bright side of it is at least I'll have that situation. And I what the plan was like right before all of this fully started happening, me and my best friend, if you remember, we were gonna go travel. Um, but now that's definitely out the questions. We had finally settled on going to Denver, Colorado, was what we were gonna do, but yeah, that's definitely not going to happen for the foreseeable future. Maybe sometime later in the summer we'll do that, but currently no, we cannot do that. But that was going to be our plan, so you would have seen some like travel vlog stuff. But that's not going to happen anymore, obviously. But that was the plan. But we're gonna have fun. any way we can, even if it's just with my family. And my best friend is thinking about still trying to come to Maryland. Obviously, he's in North Carolina because that's where his family is. He's trying to decide when maybe when things calm down, maybe by my birthday they will be a little bit better. Maybe I doubt it now because it's coming up so quickly. But he was trying to decide if he could maybe be okay coming up here to visit for my birthday and then going back to North Carolina. But I don't think that's gonna work either. So it'll just be a family birthday, which is fine. I mean, I love my family obviously, and I enjoy their company, so it'll be fine. Um, yeah, it'll be fine, and I'll enjoy it either way. I mean, this thing is really good as well because I'm starting to see like people are really reconnecting with their families, and that's always a good thing despite the situation which it occurs. It's nice seeing people reconnecting with their family, parents getting more time with their children. All of that seems to be positive. So everything that's happening isn't negative, and I think that's a important thing to remember. People are getting a lot of homework done as well, like working on their house because they're stuck in their house, and they're finally realizing, hey, I should do some housework as well. So it's not all bad. It's letting people definitely have like uh, a lot of free time to do projects that they have put aside because of work or other life things they had to do. So it's not all bad, you guys. Okay, let me see, catch up on the comments, and then I'm gonna let you guys go, and I'm gonna start figuring out this Zoom thing and let you guys know when I figure it out. Let me catch up on the comments before I go. At least you can celebrate your big day with beloved family. I read that. You're welcome. Oh, Jen is talking to someone. Talking to Dee Dee. Jen is killing with disclaimers. Yes, yes, Jen is definitely keeping me safe. I don't know much about, but think quite a bit. Unlike StreamYards, where we're only six that can go on a panel at a time. Yeah, I know it's. I think it's more. It's definitely more than 20 because our whole classes were doing it. So I know it's over 20. So we'll see. I'll look into the maximum amount of people that can join in. Happy birthdays all around. Thank you, Novi. It will be memorable celebrating with your family. Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a really good time. We'll drink some wines and stuff, and because I'll be legally allowed to do it. But I've done it before then. Shh. But um, I'm so glad you're not like these knuckleheads out here all saying, "Ooh, I'm gonna be lit, get lit." Yeah, no, I'm not stupid, so I can't. Oh, that's the thing. Yeah, haven't you seen like those people who are still going to Florida? Oh my God, crazy, crazy people. Yes, there's so many people. I just respect the baby. Parents just have to know were they on their web? Yes. That would be great if parents wanted to join. Yes. Yeah. Just got to be safe because I don't want to get in trouble. Um, yeah. Sean is not into it. Nope. I don't know. You're right. I don't know any like reborn parents that are really into that because we use this, whereas most people use those substances to cope with whatever stress. A lot of people in this community just use the dolls instead to cope with their stress instead of substances, which is healthy. It's much healthier, obviously. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know a lot of people in the community that really do a lot of drinking or other substances. I don't know. Yeah, I started noticing that. I was like, I don't know anybody who really drinks like that in the community or has gotten in trouble for doing all that kind of stuff in the community because we use these as a replacement for that. Um, yeah. um, yeah. So yeah, I will leave you guys with that. Again, thank you, Dee Dee. Thank you so much for bringing up that idea. That's such a great idea, and I will definitely take that and use it. And I'll of course give you credit for giving me the idea to use Zoom. I don't know where my mind was where I wasn't thinking about that, but thank you. And I'm hoping that also will be really fun for you guys to join in. And for people watching back, yes, you also will be able to join into that Zoom when I figure it out, and I'll post that soon. So I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your, what is it, Wednesday? I have no idea. I think it's Wednesday. Let me check. Yes, it's Wednesday. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Wednesday, and I hope you are taking this time to really enjoy your family and get some fun things done that you couldn't do otherwise. And I hope you guys don't hate me for this, the original topic of this video. I think it was a good topic to talk about. I know it's a difficult one, but not all topics are fun. So yeah, I will see you guys very, very soon, probably tomorrow, just because I now have nothing else to do since I finished with my classes. But yeah, I'll see you then, and goodbye.